It's a very good question, and I'm really pleased that we're gathered here in Rome to have a discussion about the implementation of the decade. So family farming is important from a number of angles. Firstly, a large percentage of the world's food comes from family farms. So anyone that's sitting down at a table eating food really needs to thank a family farmer somewhere in the world. Conversely, around 2 billion people rely on family farming for their livelihoods. And unfortunately, around the world, a large percentage of the world's poorest and most vulnerable people are actually family farmers. So it's one of the world's saddest ironies that those that produce our food are often the ones that struggle of not having enough. They are an important agent for change and an important role in sustainable development. So investing in family farmers can produce a number of impacts. It can make societies more equitable. It can bring those that are most vulnerable of being left behind forward. It can generate income through family farming to improve livelihoods of families, but also can address intergenerational poverty. So how can young people get an education? How can they have a better livelihood than their parents? Also, family farmers have a critical role in maintaining and preserving biodiversity. Family farms are often more sustainable than those that are industrial. So they play a critical role in all aspects of sustainable development: social, economic, financial, and particularly environmental. Well, for the UN, we have a North Star, and that is the Sustainable Development Goals. And at the UN General Assembly just a few weeks ago, the Secretary General really raised the alarm around multilateralism and cooperation for the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. And unfortunately, the world is actually off track to meet some of the global commitments that it made to itself. And sadly for us at the International Fund for Agricultural Development, two of the Sustainable Development Goals that are most off track are Sustainable Development Goal 1 and SDG 2. SDG 1 is poverty and SDG 2 is hunger and food security. So for the UN itself, why is it important for us in terms of investing in small-scale agriculture and family farms? It's to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Also for international financing organizations, one of the key aspects that is missing from family farming is investments. And IFAD is an international financing organization, and what we do is we invest with countries to make sure that resources go to the most vulnerable rural people, and often they are small scale and family farmers. So what we do is we try to invest and leverage our investment to bring in even more financing for those that need it most. So the decade has made, I think, tremendous progress. There's activities that are happening in over 100 countries. There's hundreds of policies that have been adopted and implemented in many countries. There's been capacity building of governments to understand what family farming is. There's capacity building for family farming organizations. So there's been an enormous amount of progress. But when you look at the overall state of global food security, it's at a critical level and it's going in completely the wrong direction. So while we can be happy with the progress that we've made so far with the decade, we can't be happy with the overall state of food security globally. And we often hear in food systems about the problems and its interconnectedness with other issues, whether it's climate, whether it's finance, whether it's social or other economic aspects. And we're always looking for some kind of solution to deal with these problems. The decade is a solution. And what we need at the moment is to double down our investments in the decade of family farming, because it will help us deliver on the Sustainable Development Goals. So again, we're happy with the progress, but there's a lot more work to do. And institutions such as FAO and IFAD need and are willing to do a lot more. What we ask for is much more investment, much more political engagement from our member states to invest in family farming and the decade.